Hey, what's poppin', everybody? Let's go ahead and recap our last plays from Tuesday. Our last play was on Tuesday. We had the lock of the day was Corey Abbott under 85.85 pitches, 85.5 pitches. He went well under on his pitch count. Nick Pavita got really close, but he did end up going under on his pitch count. I accidentally threw that up on my Instagram story as an over, and then somebody told me, he's like, dang, you're going to go over on those pitches? And I was like, no, that's supposed to be under. So I kind of messed that up the other day. But of course, the man himself, Mike Trout, who was on a 7-game hit streak or a 7-game home run streak. The game I take him, it ends, which made a lot of sense. I figured that was gonna happen. I should have just went with the under, but I knew if, as soon as I hopped on that train, it was gonna end. So I actually ended up throwing together a 2 slip of just the pitchers because I knew Mike Trout was not gonna come through for me. But he was hot, so I had to write the hot hand. So with that being said, guys, that is the recap from Tuesday. Sorry about yesterday. We're getting ever so close. To baby. We're about 11 days out today, but yesterday I wasn't able to put together a video just because we're getting pretty close. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into today's picks. Real quick, if you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, in the link down in the description below, I have a link that takes you straight to the App Store where you can download Underdog Fantasy because you're going to want to hop in on the action this year. They have added a whole bunch of new features to Underdog Fantasy this year. Starting with the brand new insurance feature, okay? This insurance feature is a new thing that has been super requested for the fans and the customers of Underdog Fantasy. Essentially, all you do is you click insurance right here. And if you can see right there, all you have to do is hit 4 of these picks to win, but the value does drop down. So if you turn off the insurance, you do a $10 bet, you obviously get $200. And if you turn on the insurance feature, it drops down a multiplier down to 10. But if you miss one of these picks, say, Jameis Winston gets hurt or something, he doesn't end up throwing 2 touchdown passes. But everybody else hits, like Lamar, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, and Justin Jefferson. All these guys hit. You still hit the hit, or you still hit the slip. You just get it for $100. Just goes down a multiplier, which is a huge feature a lot of people have been asking for, so they received it. Also, they have added second half lines now to games. Obviously, it is on. There is nothing up because there's no NFL second half games, but they have added NFL second half. So just like for the Thursday night game, I'll throw up that clip right here. Thursday night, they dropped all the second half lines for that Thursday night game between the Bills and the Rams. They've added a bunch of new features this year. They're trying to improve to get the app better for you guys. Also, when you sign up, if you use code TAKEMYSHOT, you'll get $100 match, up to $100 match and 100% deposit match on your first time deposit. So if you do that, you can deposit $50 to get an extra $50, $20 to get an extra $20. Whole lot of stuff coming with Underdog Fantasy this year. Make sure you sign up with code TAKEMYSHOT. Now let's get to today's picks. All right, hopping into today's lock of the day. Of course, it's Thursday, so that's time for some Thursday night football. Last week, we would have cashed our Thursday night slip, but Cam Akers goes over by half a yard. Cashed our payout booster with Russell Wilson this last week. So this week, we're going to Thursday night football, heading to this. I'm anticipating this to really be the game of the year between the Chiefs and the Chargers. This game should be an absolute shootout between these two teams. Today's lock of the day will be coming from the Kansas City Chiefs side of things. Give me Travis Kelce over 82.5 receiving yards. In his 3 matchups versus Herbert-led Chargers team, he is averaging, get ready for this, 9 catches a game for 123 yards a game, and has gone over in all 3 times he's taken on this Herbert-led Chargers. Had 121 yards in week 1. The loss of Tyreek Hill has really not stopped the Kansas City Chiefs as far as their explosiveness and their ability to score. I think a bunch of guys had touchdowns, and Travis Kelce was still able to get his 121 yards receiving from Travis Kelce in week 1. His line is only at 82.5. He's told to have a massive game today versus the Chargers. So give me Travis Kelce over 82.5 yards as today's the lock of the day. All right, next up we got a sleeper. Give me Josh Palmer over 46.5 yards receiving. Now, you're going to see a lot of theme today of overs. I think this game is going to be an absolute ball game of just a shootout and airing the ball out. 2 of the best passing quarterbacks in the league, and they're going to put that on full display here tonight. Give me Josh Palmer over 46.5 yards receiving here today. 1 career start for Josh Palmer without Keenan Allen, 5 catches for 66 yards. He will be the clear wide receiver 2 behind Mike Williams in today's matchup. Also in games where Keenan Allen has not been on the field, his production has gone up massively. He is clearly a target for Justin Herbert when Keenan Allen is not on the field. That's why his line is so much higher than it normally would be, obviously because of the Keenan Allen injury. And I'm still liking his odds to go over 46.5 yards receiving today. He'll be looking all over the field for him when Mike Williams is going to be primarily covered by their best corners. So give Josh Palmer over 46.5 receiving yards today's second pick of the day. All right, and our last 2 picks are indeed going to be the quarterbacks. Give me Patrick Mahomes over 300.5 yards passing. I know it's a lot. The Chargers defense, which even though it's very much improved, is still likely to be without J.C. Jackson here tonight. So anticipate the Chargers defense to probably get a little bit of pressure, but Mahomes is still the ability to sling it around and throw out on the run is crazy already. So without having that incredible man-to-man corner to throw on Juju Smith-Schuster or someone, I still think they're a little bit weaker in the secondary as far as corners go. Derek Carr last week versus the Chargers defense was able to throw for 295 on them while throwing 3 picks. So I have a feeling Patrick Mahomes is still going to get his thing done even against this talented Chargers defense. Plus, last year on Thursday Night Football when they took on the Chargers, he threw for 410 yards. Now, again, I know the defense is better than it was a year ago, but Patrick Mahomes in the biggest moments with the lights shining the brightest puts on massive performances. So last year he threw for 410. His line is set at 300.5 today, so we're going to go with Patrick Mahomes over 300.5 yards passing today. And our last play of the day, like I said, is going to be the quarterback. Give me Justin Herbert over 289.5 yards passing. I think this is just going to be a complete air raid game. This is going to be a whole lot of offensive firepower, very fast-paced game. Teams are going to be going back and forth, scoring quickly through the air. Herbert, he's going to sling it today. I have a feeling both offenses are really going to let it rip today. In 4 career games versus the Chargers, he's gone over in his yards twice, and he's gone under and twice. In one of them, he threw for 281, so he was like 8 yards away from being able to go the over or 9 yards over. Last week, he threw for 279, so he was 10 yards away just last week facing that Raiders defense, who's also a very talented defense. Doesn't have Keenan Allen today, but like I said, I think he's going to use Josh Palmer as that kind of, I don't want to say number 1 option because Mike Williams has shown in the past versus the Chargers he can be that number 1 option. But he's still got plenty of weapons. Gerald Everett exploded onto the scene last game in that first game. It showed last year too with Jared Cook that Herbert really likes to use his tight ends, and definitely in week 1 he showed that he likes to use Gerald Everett a little bit. Almost threw him on the slip today, but decided to go with Josh Palmer. So give me Justin Herbert over 289.5 passing yards as our last play of the day today. All right, with that being said, no 3-slip, no 5-slip. We're going to do a perfect 4-slip today. Give me the lock of the day, Travis Kelce over 82.5 yards receiving. Give me Josh Palmer over 46.5 yards receiving. Give me Patrick Mahomes over 300.5 passing yards. And give me Justin Herbert over 289 passing yards as our last play of the day for today's perfect 4-slip. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. Like I said at the beginning, we are in the early stages of labor right now, so anything could happen. We're gonna take it day by day right now for the next couple of days. If we do end up going into the hospital, I'm obviously not gonna make any videos. So I'll definitely let you guys know if I'm like, hey, all right, we're headed to the hospital, so I'm probably not gonna make a couple of videos for a couple of days. So we'll kind of see what happens. We'll play it day by day. We'll definitely pump out this last video of this Thursday Night Football before hopefully anything happens. So with that being said, guys, I will catch you guys hopefully tomorrow. Peace.